Good conversations are everything. A good conversation can get you a job, can get you a friend, can get you a wife. But the question is, what good is the conversation if it doesn't start at all, if it doesn't begin? In this video, I'm going to share with you the most effective and powerful way to start a conversation. Stay tuned. Hi and welcome back. I'm sure you've left a gathering like a networking event, a party, a bar, beating yourself up because you failed to talk to someone. It has happened to me before. And this is particularly true for introverts because introverts are not good with small talks because they like to stay by themselves. They've not mastered the act of having small talks. So starting a conversation for introverts can be very challenging. And there are several people that will tell you a lot of ways to start a conversation. They can tell you to talk about the weather, talk about food, talk about travel, blah, 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 and all of these things. But there's one way that is very effective, the most, in my opinion, the most effective way to begin a conversation. And that is, get the person to tell you a story. That is powerful. It doesn't matter what you're talking about, whether you're talking about travel, whether you want to talk about food, whether you want to talk about vacation, whatever. Get them to tell you a story. People love talking about themselves. People love talking about what happened. They love it, especially when they're good stories. For example, you can ask someone walking a dog something like, wow, your dog looks so beautiful. How do you groom them? How do you take care of your dogs? And they begin to tell you the story. Or someone that looks very fit, and you can ask them, wow, you look so fit. How do you work out consistently? What is your regimen like? And they begin to tell you all the stories. Let me tell you a personal story of mine. I was at a grocery store and I saw a guy that had like a well-groomed beard. And I asked him, wow, guy, your beard looks so well-groomed, so well-trimmed. How do you take care of your beard? And he began talking. And that was the question that started the conversation. And we talked about several other things that lasted for about 5 minutes. We had a conversation for about 5 minutes with a complete stranger. So if you get people to talk about themselves, it is powerful. It is the most effective way to begin a conversation. Now, here is why this strategy is so powerful. Number one, people love talking about themselves. Number two, when people talk about themselves, when they tell stories about themselves, it releases a chemical in the brain called dopamine that makes them feel good. It makes them feel happy. Number three, when someone tells you their stories, it gives you a lot of material to continue the conversation. Number four, when someone tells you their story, they feel vulnerable. They get vulnerable because they're telling you personal things about yourself. Those are four things that make it very powerful, storytelling very powerful. And now, you can't just expect someone to keep telling you the story, to keep talking. It is good to make people talk. But when they keep talking and telling you all their story, their life history, they get to pause at the point. What are you doing here? They tend to wonder, oh, okay, wow, I think I've said too much. So the key is to reciprocate the storytelling. Just give them a little bit about yourself. It depends on how comfortable you are saying things about yourself. Just reciprocate that vulnerability. And when you do that, when you guys go back and forth, each story you tell, it creates a connection. It creates a bond. And so the more you tell stories, the more bond you create between yourself and the person you're having conversation with. And so when there's an exchange of stories between both parties, it creates mutual trust, mutual appreciation, mutual respect for each other. That by the end of the conversation, you realize that, wow, I have so much in common with this person that you're willing to hang out with them another time. And so getting people to tell you stories is the most effective way to start a conversation. There you have it, the most effective way to start a conversation. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please make sure you subscribe. And until next time, stay connected.